Well, first thing on the number of patients, when I decided that it was time to finish dropping out of network with Delta, this was August of last year, and they make you wait 60 days.
So
So,
in Colorado, there's a 60-day notice period.
mhm.
In
And
some
so,
states, it's 30, it's 60, it could be 60, it even
right,
could be 90. And there's 38 different Delta organizations. There's not 50, but there's 38 of them around the country. They're not all the same, but it's either going to be 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days.
right. And so the year prior to that, while I was working with you, we sat and I talked to every single patient that has Delta face to face 2 times. So the reason why I picked the year was because I wanted to give it an opportunity to, be able to speak to them 2 times. And essentially,
Maybe let it marinate.
yeah, and we had a couple of people that left during that year and come back. We've had people that left and they went somewhere else for
we
that.
we, we jokingly call those boomerang patients,
Yes.
like the Australian boomerang where they go out and come back.
Yep. And I had 3 of them come in yesterday, which was pretty cool. That's the most we've had in one single day.
That's
So I
really
thought,
cool.
well, that was,
Well,
that,
we know that saying in love, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I
right.
think that's dental love. It's like,
Yes.
hey, Dr. Allman, I made a mistake. I should have never left. Would you have me back? And what's the
Yeah, well,
answer to
one of
that?
them, oh, absolutely. I mean, we're happy to see people back. I mean, it's never been where I want people to feel like they're less than because of the particular insurance product that their employer pays for. It has
Right.
nothing to do with our patient. It has everything to do with the fact that this is the system that was set up. I just didn't want to work within that system anymore.
Right.
And one of the patients that came back yesterday moved 45 minutes away, and he said, in our schedule, because we use local med to do our online scheduling,
Yeah.
he said, I really miss the consistency of Dr. Allman. And that was his words. And I was like, wow, that's really
Wow.
cool. I mean, to have somebody that would write that on the schedule, and it just reinforced to my team that, see, everything we've talked about over the past 2 years, this is what we work for. This is why we're here.
That's a patient that values you. I mean,
Yeah.
that patient's going to drive 45 minutes. He's going to drive past, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
Right.
dentists, but
Right.
he's choosing you because you and your team. He
Right.
values you.
Right. We have
Um,
patients that live out of state too that come in and see us. I mean,
so cool.
that's like a badge of honor for me. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I love when that happens. And we treat them like gold, like everyone else. And
Yeah.
they know that, and they say, we are willing to make the trip back. Of course, they have other either family members in town, or they're staying,
Sure.
they're staying with friends or what have you. But it really makes us feel special because we've been able to provide that to our patients, and that experience is the very first thing that they comment on. Like, I won't go anywhere else because of how great I'm treated here.
They're
That's
voting.
awesome.
They're voting with their feet.
Yes, exactly.
Or their tire rubber.
Yeah.
Or the other.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Or a plane ticket.
There are plane tickets.
But anyways, back to, the attrition rate. I mean, I thought, yeah, we're probably going to lose, 20%, 70% of my practice at that point was Delta patients.
Okay, I want everyone to hear that and listen to what Dan just said. 70% of his practice was Delta. Now, that can give you the feeling like, oh my gosh, I could never do this here. Right? I mean, you could look at that and feel overwhelmed. But that's actually what we see most of the time. Most of the time, because of the way you're now bringing in patients because you're part of Delta, it becomes dominant, and it becomes a majority of your practice, and it can give you the perspective that I could never do that here.
Right. And the reason why it dominates is because of the rate that they sell it at, which then turns around, they ascribe the word insurance to something that is not real insurance. And patients think, well, I have insurance, so it should cover everything. And as we all know, it doesn't. It barely covers anything. And so the reason why that number exists is because of the way that their formulas set things up. So, I looked at it too as, oh my gosh, it's 70% of my practice. I don't think I can do this. I mean, I let fear dictate my decisions for so long, and sitting there going, if I do this, everyone's going to leave, because that's all you hear. Like, you see stuff online all the time. Oh, everybody's going to leave. They're all going to leave. Why would they pick you? There's 800 other dentists in your town. Well,
Yeah,
It
if you
will.
just want to get the naysayers, if you want to go down a gloom doom loop, by the way, I don't suggest this, but if you want to go down a gloom doom loop, post, hey guys, I'm thinking about going out of network. Post that on Nifty Thrifty Dentists, and you will get bombarded with
Oh,
hundreds of, oh my God, you must be an idiot. What are you
you're
doing?
crazy. There's no way you could do this. And it
There is a Facebook
oftentimes,
group, yeah, called Nifty Thrifty. Post it there if you ever
oh
want
my
to, and don't do
goodness.
that because that will suck you down the gloom doom
Right.
loop. Listen to Dan.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it really, I think of the people that say that are oftentimes the ones that have never done this, or even, haven't dropped any ever,
Right.
and don't really know, because all they know is high volume, and that's what got them by. And they may have been in practice for 30, 40 years, and that's how it was in the 90s. Like,
And they want to validate.
everything
They want to
was
validate their choice of practice model.
correct.
And,
Yeah. And a lot of it is like self-validation, and but I look at it from the standpoint of my numbers validate my decision. And fear is what kept me locked into doing things the old way. And it really just comes down to, you don't know what you don't know. And once I started going out of network with a couple of insurances and watching what happened when people would leave and then come back and tell me about their experience at another place. And, not to say that, every other place is terrible. It's just, we do things a certain way that give people time. We spend our time with people. It is an individualized appointment. It's not one size fits all. You talk about the commodity aspect. This is not, an orange is an orange is an orange. We're sitting here going, okay, you are a person. I spend time talking with my new patients in my consult room first, not in an operatory. I want them to feel comfortable from the moment they step in my office. I want to know who they are, why they're here, what brings them in, does something hurt? I mean, we focus on all of the things that can bring out the reasoning behind them being here. And each and every time they come in, we make sure that we're meeting those needs that they have.
Using the language that I use, Dan, you truly have a relationship-driven practice. I mean, it's very
and I don't see why it shouldn't be.
Yeah, you and your team. Your team.
What we do.
You've cultivated team members that share your values and your vision for that, and they're extensions of you in terms of connecting with patients, and that makes a difference. Now,
we work in close proximity with our patients every day. I mean, that's what dentistry is, and I feel like our profession has kind of lost its way. It's kind of gotten off track, and we need to get back to treating the person, the individual.